In Unit, we are going to make a timeline. And maybe it's important first to tell you what a timeline is. So a timeline is a way of displaying a list of events in the order that they happened. You call this a chronological order. Now a timeline can help us to kind of get an overview of, when did one ancient civilization flourish, when did the other start, how do they connect. So a timeline can give us some insight in a series of events. Now, I don't have a ruler. I'm sure you do. For a timeline, it's very important that you have a ruler to make a nice straight line. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. And of course, you're using a piece of paper. I'm using my whiteboard, but you're probably using a piece of paper. And you can go to the picture that's attached to this lesson, and then you can kind of see, okay, when do all these ancient civilizations happen? So our timeline starts at 3700 BCE. Yeah. Now BCE stands for before the Common Era. And what that basically means is at a certain point we started counting the years. That is the year 0. Now that is the calendar that we use today. Let's say we're putting the year 0 over here. Yeah. Now, of course, we had this lesson about archaeologists. So archaeologists discovered that certain things that they found were much, much older than 2020 years, because we're now in 2020. So they had to find a way to give a date to that as well. And then they started working with BCE dates. So let's take a look. What I'd like you to do to add on the timeline is to add the ancient Egyptians. So if you look at the timeline, you can find that here. And again, I'm doing it like this, but if you have a ruler, please use a ruler, because we want to make it look as neat as possible, because we're actually going to do quite a lot with this timeline. So ancient Egypt, don't forget to write down the date, 3100, yeah, BCE. And then I'd like you to add ancient Greece and the Roman Empire to this list as well. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. So you're going to make your timeline. You're going to make sure that you have your starting date. You're going to make sure that you have ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and the Roman Empire. Later, we are going to add other ancient civilizations to our timeline as well. When you are done with your timeline, I would like you to write down here at the top what BCE stands for. Yeah, so I'd like you to explain. Oh, can you see it? I'd like you to explain what BCE stands for. Okay, so then we have a timeline of the ancient civilizations that we have discussed thus far.